Greggy Boy says and swears all the time, drinks and beer, cause he can't stop, inhales alcohol. Watch out, here comes the Greggy Boy.
Okay, so we were at the end of we moved to Jamaica, and we're living in Jamaica, pretty much homeless in Jamaica. When we finally decided to come back, and so we flew back, finally got some people to send us enough money to get tickets to fly out of Jamaica. We flew out of Jamaica back to Miami, and in Miami we had our vehicle, so our truck and our 2 wave runners, which we were going down there because we were running our jet ski company down there, or wanted to. We were trying to get that started. They were in a shipping container in Miami, so everything we owned was in the back of the shipping container. Clothes, I mean, literally everything we owned with these 2 jet skis. And so we got back, we got the Jimmy out of storage, out of the shipping container. And at this point, we'd been gone probably about 9 months. We've been living in Jamaica. And remember, no food, living on the beach. We were covered in ant bites. I had my entire face was basically scabbed over from being eaten by ants every single night. So we got the truck out, and it took us almost 6 days to drive from Edmonton to Miami when we first drove down there, which was, again, almost 9 months ago. We were emaciated. I left, I was probably close to 200 pounds, and when I got back from Jamaica, I was about 156 pounds. So very emaciated, again, living on the beach. The salt water destroys your skin, so we looked like hell. And so 6 days to get down there, and my friend and I that's it, we're done, we're heading home back to Edmonton. We jumped in that car and we started driving, and it took us 3 days to get home. We did it in half time. We drove round the clock. He would sleep, I would drive, I would sleep, he would drive, and all we took was Jolt Cola, drank Jolt Cola, and 8 tons of caffeine pills. So for 3 days we drove, we didn't stop. I mean, we stopped to go to the bathroom. Remember, we hadn't showered. We're emaciated. We're covered in ant bites and scabs. We had to look like a couple of fucking crackheads driving back. And then everything we owned was in this car. So it was full of food wrappers on the way back, and just it was. And you can only imagine how we smelt. And so we drove all the way back, and then we got to the Sweetgrass U.S.-Canadian border. And so when we got there, so we're here driving. Remember, we're jittery on caffeine pills and Joe Cola for 3 days. We haven't slept. And we get to the U.S. border crossing, so there's Canada, and then Lethbridge is an hour and a half from there, and I have friends in Lethbridge, so we're going to get there and sleep. So to us, that's the big crucible moment, we're finally going to be home after almost a year gone, living on the beach, all this stuff. And we get there, and the border guard's where are you guys coming from? We're Jamaica. When did you leave the country? We're 9 months ago, and he's pull over. And we're oh shit, and we're just all jittery, we're tired, we just want to get to Lethbridge. And so we pull over, and he goes, get out, and he goes, come inside. And so we go inside, and he takes up to the counter, and he's like, what do you guys have in your vehicle even? And we had the jet ski sticking out the back of the truck, we had a trailer, everything. It looked like hoarders, everything's from piled up to the top of the roof. And he's like, what do you guys have to declare? You guys have been gone for almost a year, what do you have to declare? And we're declare? We have nothing to declare. And he goes, you were gone for 9 months living in Jamaica, and you guys have nothing, you didn't buy anything, you didn't bring, no. We're we've been sleeping on a frickin' beach. We have nothing. And the guy's like that. And the guy starts threatening us. He's like, this is your last chance to tell us. We're ripping this entire vehicle apart. We're going to pull everything apart. We're going to rip those jet skis apart because something's wrong. You guys are lying about something. And we're both so tired. And of course, our eyes are strung out of our head. We're both jittery and shaky. And this guy's looking at us. And this guy's like, look at you guys. You guys look like hell. And we're like, yeah. And we kind of got mad. I'm yeah, we look like hell. We haven't slept in how many days? We haven't eaten. Blah, blah. And I'm rip the thing apart. Do whatever you want to do. I don't give a shit. And the guy's like, let's go. And we start walking to go back out to the vehicle. We get to the door going outside, and I happen to be a little bit in front of the guy. I grab the handle of the door, and I open the door. And as I pull the door open, I'm kind of holding my arm up because I'm taller than the guy to let the guy go out before me. I'm like, go ahead. And his head is right by my armpit. And he gets a whiff of how toxic I smell. And to me and my buddy, we were living in it, we don't know. And he shoots back about 8 feet, and he's like, holy Christ. And he started, I'm like, I couldn't figure it out at the time. Like, what the hell's this guy's problem? And anyways, he goes, get the hell outside. And we go outside. He comes out, and he calls over these other two guys. Last chance. You guys stand here. So we're standing there, and we're just like, do whatever the fuck you want to do. And this guy's like, last chance to tell us, otherwise we're ripping this thing apart, and we're going to find whatever it is you guys are hiding. And we're like, rip it apart, man. Do whatever the hell you want to do. And he goes to the passenger side. He opens the door to the car, and then he sticks his head in like he's about to dive in there. Now, remember, this is a hoarder car. There's like caffeine pills and Jolt Cola cans everywhere and food wrappers and all of our clothes and shit that's been in a freaking sea container, locked in a sea container for like the last 3 months in a port in Miami that is like roasting at whatever temperature. So whatever bacteria and stench is in there, this guy goes diving in the car like he's some sort of super cop. And as fast as he dove into that car, he shot out of that car. He flew back about 20 feet, landed on his ass, was lying on the ground, screaming like he just got pepper sprayed. And he was like, what the hell's that stench? Holy shit. And he goes, you guys weren't lying. You filthy animals have been living in this thing for a year. And we're like, yeah, I fucking told you, man. And he's like, get out of here. Get the hell out of here. I'm not touching that thing. Get out of here. And me and my buddy are like, oh, sweet. We jumped in the car, fired it up, and we took off, and we made it back into Canada. And the whole entire way we were dying laughing because the look on this guy's face when he smelt us. And he couldn't even do his job. He couldn't clean that car. He wanted nothing to do with us. That's how bad we smelt. And I'll add a little final thought on that. When we got to Lethbridge, the friends that we had living there, they didn't even recognize us because I was 153 pounds. I was a different color living in Jamaica out on the beach in the elements. I was no longer white. I was burnt out, scabs all over my face. They let us go upstairs and use their shower, which we had not showered in probably 3 months. And they let us use the shower. And when the two of us, I showered first and my buddy showered. And when he come out, this guy's wife went upstairs and she screamed because her nice white tub, was pitch black. And it had like 2 inches of some sort of goo on that I think they said took them almost 3 weeks to get rid of the scum ring that was on there from us showering. Ugh. And that's that story.